It can be pretty hard to reach out with the team, but he shows his love through sarcasm and memes, and it never fails to make people laugh. One time I told him how much I was going to miss him, and what I was supposed to do my next 2 years without him. And all he said was, I guess you're just going to have to tell people that they wish they did. And he's 100% right. Thank you for everything that you do.
All right, now let's meet the players. Number 7, Paige Baker. Paige has been admired for what growth looks like as a player in our program. She has a generous spirit, an aggressive attack, and a powerful serve. We will miss Paige's intensity on the court and her love for her teammates off of it. A sociology major, Paige plans to blend her passion for serving others with her love of art by becoming an art therapist. Paige is accompanied by her parents, Denise and Mark Baker.
Paige, there are so many things that I could say about you that I'm not even really sure where to begin. You are selfless, loving, and compassionate. You've grown an incredible amount, both as a player and as an individual in the years that I've known you. You bring such a light and an energy to the court that's been critical to our success as a team this year. Freshman and sophomore year, you really took me under your wing, and you were always somebody that I could turn to with my homesickness. On and off the court, you've become someone that I can always count on as a friend, a teammate, and a sister. I'm so grateful for each one of our late-night car drives, and I think I could speak for everyone on our team that you are by far one of the easiest people to talk to and get to know. You have contagious optimism and positivity, and you always strive to bring the best out in everyone around you. We're all going to miss you so much, but I also have no doubt in my mind that we're going to stay really close no matter where we end up. And of course, your pre- and post-game dance moves are always going to remain unmatched. We love you so much, Paige.
All right, number 17, Leah Dunlap.
Please don't cry.
Leah is the definition of what it means to be a positive, enthusiastic teammate. Through her obvious love of the program and supportive relationship with so many of her teammates, Leah was named a captain leading up to her senior year. Her selflessness, drive, and presence has helped her to be a powerful influence on our court. Leah is an education major and plans to pursue teaching and/or social work opportunities with middle school students. Joining Leah are her parents, Becky and Jim Dunlap.
Leah, you are full of love, joy, and you have a servant heart. You took each and every one of us under your wing and cared for us off and on the court. We appreciate that greatly. You're going to do amazing things in the future, and you take on every situation with such determination and passion, and you pursue until you're satisfied. Your love for the game of volleyball is contagious, and you make everyone around you better. You're also not one to settle. You push yourself every day, and you continue to push all of us because you want us to be the best that we can be. You're truly the kind of person that brings out the very best in people through your energy and your get after attitude. You're a born leader, and that's going to take you so far in life. You're going to change the lives and hearts and the people that you meet, Leah. We love you, Mama Leah, and we wish that you keep in contact with us.
All right, number 2, Sophie Hackett. Sophie is a 2-year captain and starting setter for the Flying Dutch. She has proven herself to be a dynamic quarterback of the offense, but makes as big a difference on her court with her drive and competitiveness. Sophie is willing to do whatever it takes to help her teammates succeed. She's quick to celebrate another's success and inspires hope with her work ethic. Sophie plans to attend graduate school next year to attain her master's in social work with the hope of eventually serving traditionally marginalized populations. She is joined tonight by her parents, Lena and Dean Hackett.
One of the first interactions I had with Sophie Hackett quickly changed from casual conversation to spouting off as many office quotes as we could think of. I can still distinctly remember this moment because when someone came up to us to ask what we were doing, Soph simply said, "We're bonding." This phrase seems mundane enough, but I was thrilled when I heard it because she's such an amazing person that having any kind of bond with Sophie seemed like an unbelievable gift. Soph, that was my very first impression of you, and I can now say, with agreement from everyone on this team, that we are all so lucky you shared this gift with us. Not only have you been running this court as our setter the past few years, but I would also argue that you've been playing a part in shaping lives. You have this odd balance of simultaneously being the most passionate and laid-back person I've ever met, and I think that's why people are so drawn to you. You are an incredible leader who people look to when they are in need of anything from a rallying speech during an important match to some sick beats in the locker room. I can only hope that someday I will be able to give to other people like you have given to this program. We are also grateful to have had the opportunity to play with you, and the people of Chicago are going to be lucky to have you next semester. I hope when you leave you can remember to live by the wise words of Dwight K. Schrute, who once said, "I'm ready to face any challenges that might be foolish enough to face me." You're going to do great things, Soph.
Number 4, Mallory Luke. Mallory has amassed over 800 digs in her career and has held down the libero position this year with steady mix of tremendous ball control, strong serving, and court leadership. Mallory is respected for her honest feedback and mental toughness, but it is her commitment to helping everyone else be their best selves that really makes her impact felt. A chemistry major, Mallory plans to attend dental school in the future after spending the spring semester in Santiago, Chile. Mallory is accompanied by her parents, Deanna and Dale Luke.
Although she may be 5'3", Mallory Luke plays with the range and athleticism of a 7-footer. Mal is an extremely talented volleyball player. She inspires her teammates through her poise, technique, and determination on the court. Mal plays tough. I haven't seen a libero be so unfazed from taking a ball to the face multiple times. Mal is a teammate to count on for practical feedback. She invests in her teammates and helps everyone to pursue excellence within themselves. Mal displays gritty, fearless leadership that simply cannot be taught. All of these things will be greatly missed on our team next year. But what will be far more missed are the moments in between games. Mal is one of the most sincere and honest people I've crossed paths with. I would trust her with my life. Mal has the utmost respect on our team because she is so loyal and honest with everyone. I'll miss cracking up in the locker room and in timeout huddles from her bluntly honest humor. I'll miss having someone to come to with my problems about school, volleyball, and life. Mal is an amazing teammate and an unforgettable friend. Mal, you've made a remarkable impact on this program. You'll continue to be talked about and looked up to by each person on this team. I'm so excited for whatever dental school gets to have you in their program next. I know you will leave an amazing legacy there, just as you did here, and just as you will everywhere you go. Thank you for the time you've put in at Hope. Thank you for sharing your joy and your love with this team. We'll miss you.
Number 13, Haley Moeller. Haley has been primarily recognized for her strength as a right side attacker, but this season has made the switch to left side attacker and to playing back row defense. Knowing Haley's mental toughness or watching her dominate a match, you might be surprised to know that it is her love of family, especially her brother Isaac, that really makes her special. Haley is a management major and plans to pursue a career in business, sales, or communications. She is accompanied by her parents, Charlotte and Tim Moeller.
Haley, for the past 3 years, you have been a passionate, reliable, and persistent teammate and friend. Your example of hard work throughout our summer lifting and pre-post practice reps together have shown me what it means to truly earn my success. You are always pushing others to be their best because you are always striving to be your best self.
No matter the situation or who it is, you've always got their back. Hales, we'll miss seeing the fire in your eyes after a stuff block or a deadly kill. We'll miss your constant desire to give more. I'll miss my roomie, lifting buddy, perma pepper partner, and best friend. We'll all miss you for sure, but we all believe in you and know that this passion, drive, and reliability will take you so far in life. We can't wait to see where you go. We love you, Hales.
All right, thank you, Travis, John, Paige, Leah, Sophie, Mal, and Haley for everything you've contributed to the relentless pursuit of community, faithful love, and a championship mindset. We wish you all the best and trust you will be both strong and true. Ladies and gentlemen, Hope College and Hope College Athletics lost a beloved friend this week. Helen DeVos passed away on Wednesday at the age of 90. Helen will be remembered enduringly at Hope College for her transformative impact on the campus and students' education. Hometown and visiting fans experience her impact every time they enjoy a game at the Richard and Helen DeVos Fieldhouse or a concert in the Jack H. Miller Center for Musical Arts. Each year, hundreds of Hope College students also complement her extensive philanthropy themselves through the student-organized Dance Marathon, which raises funds for the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital in Grand Rapids. Please join us in a moment of silence as we honor Helen DeVos. Thank you. And now, before we announce our starting lineups, we ask that you please remove your hats and join us as we stand to honor our country and everyone defending it with the playing of our national anthem. Now here are the players in lineups for tonight's match. First, for the visiting Hornets of Kalamazoo College. Number 1, Rose Malin. Number 6, Vanessa Vigier. Number 7, Kaya Herman-Hilker. Number 9, Kayla Patterson. Number 11, Leah Todd. Number 13, Jane Bunch. Number 17, Kelly Nicholson. And number 18, Kate Schultz. And now, starting for the Hornets, number 2, a freshman, 5'8" from Celine, Zoe Ammon. A 5'10" freshman from Ann Arbor, number 3, Sophia Goebel. The 5'10" sophomore from Petra, Crete, Greece, number 5, Maria Kutranci. The 5'11" freshman from Portage, number 8, Maddie Goodman. A 5'11" junior from Ann Arbor, number 10, Rachel Gerard. A 6-foot junior from Three Rivers, number 12, Shelby Susland. And a 5'6" freshman from Hickory Corners, number 14, Taylor Ferguson. The Hornets are coached by head coach Gene Hess. She is assisted by Colleen Leonard and Scott Mays. And now for your Hope College Flying Dutch. Number 3, Claire Holman. Number 5, Jenna Vanderlaan. Number 8, Ryan Stutz. Number 9, Grace Ditzenberger. Number 10, Emma Dumay. Number 11, Katie Rietberg. Number 14, Adair Cutler. Number 15, Emily Farwell. And number 16, Rose Thompson. And now starting for your Flying Dutch, a 5'8" junior from Walker, number 1, Gabby Vachon. A 5'9" senior from Indianapolis, number 2, Sophie Hackett. A 5'4" senior from Saline, number 4, Mallory Luke. A 5'10" junior from Freeport, number 6, Vanessa Reinhout. A 5'11" senior from Encinitas, California, number 7, Paige Baker. The 6'1" senior from Grand Rapids, number 13, Haley Moeller. And a 5'10" senior from Winfield, number 17, Leah Dunlap. Flying Dutch is coached by head coach Becky Schmidt, assisted by Travis Wallace, John Ducheski, and Gene Kagras. Your officials tonight are Roxanne Steenheisen, Jeff Harp, Ross Slotch, and Tom Bolt.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hope College inside DeVos Fieldhouse. I'm Carly Vansois alongside Scott Vandersoop, and you are here today for the matchup between the Hope College Flying Dutch and Kalamazoo College. The Flying Dutch come in overall at 16-9 and 9-3 in conference, while Kalamazoo comes in at 5-6 overall and 2-10 in conference. A little bit of a recap for your week of the Dutch. On Tuesday, Hope struggled in their game against St. Mary's, losing in 3 sets. Paige Baker led the way with 6 kills, and Mary Luke led the way with 14 digs. Last night, the seniors went out and they played the Flying Scots, where they won in 4 sets, 3-1. Hope finished with 97 digs, which is the second highest total of the season, while rebounding from that loss against St. Mary's on Tuesday. Rietberg led the way with 12 kills, and Baker and Vanessa Reinhout chipped in 11 apiece. For Kalamazoo on Tuesday, for their week, they lost in 3 sets to Illinois Tech. Kutranci and Susland each had 7 kills to lead the Hornets, and Goodman and Gerard had 6 kills. Ammon finished with 20 assists, and Ferguson had 11 digs. As we see, Mallory Luke is going to start us off with this serve. And they also last night in 3 sets to the Calvin Knights as they quickly start their game out with a point. Herman Hilker will sub in for the Hornets to serve. As Vachon is there, as that goes right over the net. Pass right back over as this ball is set to Haley Muller. This ball is tipped over by Ammon. A good quick kill from Baker that Ferguson can't time correctly to give a point for the Dutch. Jenna Vanderlaan will come in to serve. Ferguson with the dig. This goes up to Goodman. Deshawn gets a hand on it. Set out to Muller. Team blocked by the Hornets. Set back to Muller. She goes for the deep tip. Herman Hilker gets her hand on it. That ball was set up that time to Gerard. Joust at the net. Luke will free ball it over. Ammon goes out to Gerard again. Vashon there. Luke helps her out. Again to Muller. Deep. Katranzi gets a hand on it. Herman Hilker sets out Gerard, and Gerard will hit that one right into the tape.
A lot of athletic plays there for both teams. That was a long point.
And scrappy plays, for that matter. Vanderlaan with the serve. Katranzi bumps, gets set back. Sophie goes to Baker this time. Off the hands of Gerard.
Looks like Katranzi's somebody they will go to, Carly. She got set in the back row there. She's going to play all the way around.
This time they go to Ferguson. Ammon goes back to Gerard. Dig by Luke. Muller with the hustle. Vanderlaan will free ball it over. Herman Hilker there. Again to Gerard. Vashon with the dig, but will send it out of bounds. And Rachel Gerard will serve for the Hornets. They go to Vanderlaan. Hackett sets outside to Muller. Off the block. Katranzi's there. They go back to Katranzi on the outside. Hackett to Muller. Off the block. This time they go to Baker. Hard cross-court hit from Baker.
Good move by Sophie Hackett. She went outside to Haley and then very quickly back to the other side. And defense had a hard time sliding over quickly.
Yeah, definitely advantage for the Dutch to have two strong hitters on the corners. As Katranzi gets that one out of bounds. Haley Muller goes back to the line to serve. Floater to Katranzi, 2 in a row.
2 in a row, that's right.
She knows it.
I think Coach Gene Hess is going to slide him over a little bit to see once if they can't get the libero to be in a more of a target-heavy area.
This time Ferguson gets it. Ammon goes to Goodman. Kind of a funky set, so she hit that one right into the net.
And I think on that one, you just probably want to give it over. She didn't really have, she wasn't able to rotate her body quickly enough.
Right. Muller to Ferguson. Ammon goes to Katranzi. Baker and Hackett there for the team block. Again, the team block from Baker and Hackett off Katranzi's hit. So we're going to get a double hit on the Hornets. And a timeout for the Hornets.
Well, Kalamazoo comes into the into this match 2-10 overall, having lost last night. 2 more matches after this. And they and Olivet are at the bottom. Calvin Hope, Albion, and St. Mary's battling for the top 4 spots. 2 more matches for each team next week. And then the top 4 will advance to the conference tournament, which will be held at Calvin. Hope 3 full games behind the Knights. They sit in second place, only a game or a match behind Albion, as they have lost 3 this year in the conference, and that hasn't happened in a while because they've got Calvin coming up again.
Right.
And as much as we would like to think that's going to be a victory, we would have to play very well, and at least right now the odds are not in our favor. But depending on what Albion and St. Mary's has left, it seems like, in all likelihood, Hope will either finish second or third, which wouldn't affect their impact, or it wouldn't impact the opponent they would play.
Right.
St. Mary's holding down fourth, but only by half a game. Trine is at 6-5, so they still have an opportunity. And Trine played very well here a couple weeks ago and handled the Flying Dutch quite easily.
Muller to serve after this timeout. Ferguson gets it up. Kerchansey off the block again. Hackett finds Rietberg. And Rietberg gets that off the top hands of the block.
I think that's one thing the Hope hitters have to learn, especially when they play a powerful team like St. Mary's or Calvin, is they don't have to out-muscle everybody. That wasn't a hard hit, but she found a spot.
Right. Being strategic with those hits is big. Muller will continue to serve, 10-2. Goodman with a hard hit, but goes out of bounds again, showing a little bit of frustration. Muller again goes to Ferguson, tight to the net. Ammon with a great spot with the tip. Rietberg with the quick hit over, and Ferguson gets her hands on it, but that'll head out of bounds on the Dutch side.
I think Ammon was sort of running out of options. She had been trying several different hitters, and it wasn't working. Now Coach Gene Hess is going to try a sub. Leah Todd into the match. Trailing 12-2. They're going to try something.
So we see a sub there for the Hornets. Leah Todd will come in. They serve her right away.
Always do that.
Yeah.
Volleyball, there's no time, there's no forgiveness, no time to warm up. You go right after him.
Kind of got to expect that. Muller continues to serve. Once again going to Todd. She gets that one up this time. Ammon to Goodman.
That time Ammon was in a tough spot. She had a back row player, Herman Hilker, who could have hit it, but she was way back, so there really wasn't anyone from where the pass came. So I think they're going to go right back to Leah Todd.
And you are correct.
Probably should have let that one go.
Herman Hilker will help that ball out as it's freed over, and Muller missed pass on that, so Goodman sends that one straight down for a point for the Hornets.
Maddie Goodman, a freshman from Portage Central, she looked very frustrated. She threw that down, that overpass with authority, so much so that I think she probably hit the net, but when you're down 14-3.
Hackett with a tight set to Baker, who makes the most out of it.
Kalamazoo got caught off guard there. There should have been time to get over there to defend that, because it really wasn't a great play by Hope, but we were able to make it work. Todd's still the recipient of Hope's serves.
Being a target. Good scrappy play right there from the Hornets. Hackett finds Reinhout. Ferguson will set up Kerchansey off the hands of Hackett, Hackett goes outside to Rietberg, who put a lot of force behind that ball and went line right to Herman Hilker.
It's one of the things Katie does best, if she can get a line shot, and she can go cross court too, but she does have a lot of power in her.
Yeah, those line shots are just deadly. As Paige Baker will send that out of bounds. 16-4 for the Dutch. Sophia Goebel will sub back in. And Zoe Ammon will serve. Hackett finds Reinhardt again off the block. Ammon slow on her feet.
Reinhardt struggled on Tuesday against St. Mary's, but she came back with 11 kills and hit .333 last night. She's filling in for Grace Ditzenberger, who is out on injury.
We're going to get an in-the-net violation from Shelby Suesland.
Just got an alert on my phone. Our men's soccer team defeated Trine 1-0. And our women's soccer team at home defeated St. Mary's 5-0 earlier in the day.
Yeah, making the women's Hope College Conference champs for the season, which is exciting for them.
They are fun to watch. They play well together as a team.
Yeah.
And DJ Dave Fleece is playing my favorite song. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, a little fun fact about your color commentator today. I think the #1 Bruce Springsteen fan that I have ever met in my entire life is the man sitting next to me. I had the pleasure to take his freshman seminar called Soundtrack to Your Life, and we discussed a lot about Bruce Springsteen and his incredible life and legacy that he has lived.
Some might say the greatest singer-songwriter since King David wrote the Psalms.
Exactly. In other Hope College news, Hope football went down to Trine 50-14 on the road, so that brings them to 5-2 overall. So they'll be making their trip back as we speak.
Yeah, I listened to that on the radio. They did not have a web stream down there, but
No.
that was like a video game. There were so many points being scored.
Yeah. Definitely a struggle for the Dutch, but
They are a good team. They'll finish strong. I still think they'll finish 7-2.
I think so too. As this play is continued on, we also see Holman for the Dutch come in as we get a point right there for the Dutch. Claire Holman is a freshman from Grand Haven, so close to her hometown here in Holland as Hackett serves this ball up. Ferguson with a nice pass to Ammon. Suslin tips it over. Hackett goes to Dunlap. Good chicken wing by Ammon. We're going to get a double hit violation on Goebel.
Well, as you know, the Vanderstoop hypothesis is that
Yes.
non-setters are always penalized and held to a higher standard. But even that one, I would say, was a double hit.
And I don't think we've been proven wrong on that hypothesis of yours. Granted, we're not conducting the most valid scientific research as we see Dunlap get a kill on that, but maybe we'll have to try that out for next season.
There we go.
Rietberg will be subbed out as Rose Thompson, a freshman from Hudsonville, will come in.
Lots of opportunities for people to play. Claire Holman into the game. She will have a nice career here. She's a first-year student.
And we see Gerard right there come in for the Hornets. Kerchansey will free ball that over. Rose Thompson gets her first hit up the game, and she hits it right off the block to score her team a point.
Well, it's fun to watch. Today is senior day. It's fun to watch the development that happens under Coach Schmidt. All five of these players who are graduating. One was a transfer after the first season, but it's been fun to watch them grow up. Their volleyball, I'm sort of adopted myself as their volleyball dad, so I had a little flower waiting for him before senior day. That's why I was late.
Hey, that's okay. Kerchansey with the serve there, and Holman, Claire Holman, showing off the freshman power on a beautiful flare hit.
That was nice. She'll have a good career here.
And it's cool on senior day to see freshmen make such a big impact, kind of see the road that they're going to make in just 4 short years. Suslin tips that ball over. Hackett will serve out Dunlap. That'll hit the antenna. So that'll make it 23-6 for the Dutch. Ferguson back to serve. She chooses to go to Rose. Rose with a beautiful pass. Holman with the hit. Kerchansey will set up Gerard. Blocked by Holman and Dunlap. Back to Gerard. Hackett with the easy pass. Luke with a set to Muller.
Good set by Mallory.
Hackett goes back to Muller. Muller with the tip. Ammon with the lucky tip over. Back to Muller. That time goes into the net.
Mallory Luke from an oblique position behind the 10-foot line just did a back set to Haley Muller. It didn't work out, but that was really good.
And one of the few moments your hypothesis has been
That's
proven
right.
wrong. Spoke too soon.
I think it was such a good play they couldn't do anything but let it
No.
move on.
Ammon will save that as Ferguson sets Gerard. Thompson with another great pass. Hackett out to Dunlap. Tips it over. Goes off a couple of Hornets, but remains point for the Dutch.
Here comes set point. Paige Baker back in.
Luke to serve. Goes to Kerchansey. Up to Goodman. Goodman, also another freshman on the court right now that's got a lot of power behind her hits.
She is all business out there. I think she's frustrated that her team isn't playing well. When she gets the opportunity, she certainly is showing a lot of power. I think that's I want to say that was how the match started, actually, too. That's how Kalamazoo got their first point.
Herman Hilker for the serve. Hackett goes quick to Baker. The Hornets thought it was out, but got the point regardless.
I think they wanted 4 hits, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
got the point anyway. That's the great thing about volleyball is if you see a bad call and you end up getting the point, then you can just move on.
Exactly.
Unlike in basketball where you spend the whole time complaining about it.
Yep. So this one set in the net. Hackett with great recovery as Luke gets a nice back row hit. Goodman off the block of Dunlap and Baker. Dunlap with a save. Up to Muller. Off the hands and goes through the hands of Ferguson. But
That was actually pretty impressive by the libero. You're not allowed to put it on your shoulder like that, but the fact that she could freeze it there was pretty good.
right. So that'll do it for the first game in this set. Hope will take the lead 1-0 as they switch sides. Scott, what do you think Hope did so well in that first set?
I thought that Sophie distributed the ball really well, and they mixed up their shots. I think Kalamazoo just wasn't getting in position block quickly enough, so the offense was running fast, and there were just lots of options. So, but more important than what I have to say about this match, I think that we, if it's okay with Steve underneath the arena, maybe we could go to our good friends at Lawrence and Vanderswart, who are incredibly generous in helping us with the equipment and other kinds of fees associated with this. We promise you Carly and I work for free, but there are other costs, and for that we are grateful to our friends at Lawrence and Vanderswart. So why don't we go to them now?
Honey, did you remember to bring the GPS?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you have an app on your phone to tell us how to get where we're going?
I do not.
Really? So you have an actual map, like the kind that are hard to fold?
Uh-uh.
You just know where you're going?
No idea.
Don't be this guy when it comes to financial planning. LVZ Advisors. We'll help get you there.
Hey, we're a little lost. Do you know where the lake is?
And once again, as Scott said, we just want to thank Lawrence and Vanderswart for all they do for us, making this possible. And all they do for Hope College in general.
We are in between sets 1 and 2 at the DeVos Fieldhouse, where Hope has won quite convincingly their first set here in their third to last MIAA conference match for the year. They next Tuesday travel to Calvin to face the Mighty Knights. But right now it's set 2 against the Hornets, and the same starting lineup I believe is coming out.
Yep.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
I think you're right on
If
that
their
one.
uniforms are all scrunched up and they have their back to me, but it does look like Reinhout and Baker in the middle, Leah Dunlap on the right, and Haley and Katie Rietberg on the left.
Yep, and then it looks like it'll be the same lineup for the Hornets as well. So, looks like the Hornets, if I am correct, will start us off in this second set, as we're trying to get rotational things down from the down ref.
Well, it's probably not a good way to start things out when the down ref is telling you that you're out of rotation.
Right, but I guess better now than after the play.
We did move a couple of people around, so now I think we're good to go.
Yep, and Goodman, who's a key player for this Hornets, will start us off. Muller with the pass. Hackett finds Muller. Muller had to travel a long ways. Ammon goes. Hackett will set this one to Reinhout, who short arms it a little bit and goes in right into the tape. So Goodman will serve again. This time they go to Luke. Hackett again goes to Muller. Muller with a hard hit to the deep back row.
That was a good read by Haley. There were 2 blocks that went up, but she was able to squeeze it between the pin and the outside blocker.
Mallory Luke will serve for the Dutch. She goes to Ferguson. Hammond will tip it over. Luke sets up Muller. Dig by Gerard. And Susan will send that ball out of bounds. Luke again to serve. Chooses to go to Gerard. She'll get the ace.
Well, as they said at senior day when they were introducing Mallory, although she's only 5'3", she has a lot of power and fight, and she puts up a serve that's very hard to return. And one of the reasons is that she puts it right over the tape. That one just hit the net tape. But with people in front of you and the ball not going very high, it's sometimes really hard to get a line on the ball if you're in serve receive.
Hammond with the serve. Hackett finds Dunlap. Dunlap with a hard hit, but Hammond with the dig. Sean to Hackett. Hackett to Baker. Ferguson gets her hands on it. Kerchansey will send it over. Hackett to Dunlap. Dunlap with a sneaky tip. Heads right over the block onto the line.
You know, the thing about that play, Carly, that no one will really notice is that when Vashon put that ball up to Sophie, it had a fair amount of rotation, even though she hit it from down below. And Sophie had to fly through the air and then cut out the rotation, get it flat. And she was able to get it to one of her hitters. That was not the point that won it, but it kept it going.
Good combination right there from the Dutch to give Baker a kill and a point for them. Jenna Vanderlaan, sophomore from South Christian, serves. And Susland, excuse me, with a hard hit against the block, but the block sends it right back at her.
Well, one of the things about Division III volleyball is they tend not to have the gigantic setters, the 6'1", 6'2" setters, and so it's really cool when someone like Sophie Hackett or before her Lauren Hayskamp has great timing and good vertical, and even though they might be undersized, can get a block like that. That's pretty neat.
Muller with 2 back-to-back hard hits. So they go to Kerchansey this time, and Vashon was doing a great job in the back row to keep that play alive, but good placement from Kerchansey. She sends herself back to the line to serve. This time they go to Vanderlaan. Hackett to Baker, makes the most out of it. Kerchansey gets her hands on it, but another Hornet can't get there.
That's a real gut punch when you have a ball that's really easy to play and then you put it somewhere and then nobody goes
right
after it.
Muller to serve. The help from Ammon, that ball goes over. Hackett with the quick tip. Rietberg's there. They go to Baker off the block. She's there to recover. Hackett to Rietberg. Hard hit by Riekert to Ferguson.
I think the hit that Katie does best is not necessarily the one where she double plants and goes way high, but the one where she kind of does her jump off a run of 3 or 4 steps just like that. And she has great court vision. That's exactly what happened there.
We're going to get a net violation by Ammon.
Lots of mistakes by Kalamazoo right now. And here comes Leah Todd back in. I wonder who they're going to serve to.
9-3, Dutch. Ferguson there. Out to Gerard.
It was actually a good back row play. They shaded over to the new player, Todd. Ferguson took it. It was a great set. But then just kind of an unforced error yet again by Kalamazoo.
This time they go to Todd.
Yep, she's warmed up now.
And to Gerard. Gerard goes deep line on a tip. Vanderlaan there with the dive, but can't get it up high enough for her teammates to get there. Ferguson Floater serve to Baker. Hackett out to Rietberg. Kind of a roll shot that the Hornets just were not expecting from Rietberg.
You know, that's what they're going to have to do when they play Calvin, too, because, you know, the block will just be a lot stronger and a lot bigger. And when you can get Calvin to do that, you stand a much better chance.
Baker mishandled that dig.
I think what Hope has to avoid here is avoid losing their crispness, because right now it looks like Kalamazoo's kind of standing around, and it's hard to keep your energy up when you're not getting a team's best. But they need to make sure that they're good enough to win this game convincingly, and they need to do that. They can't just kind of creep across the finish line.
Vanessa Reinhout with great flare shot right there. Dunlap subs in for Vanderlaan. Hackett back to serve. Choose to go to Todd. Ammon to Goodman. Missed timing on that one. (13-5). Dutch. Hammond sets Goodman again. Goodman with some power.
I think she was, she looks like she's frustrated in general with how her team's playing. But then the point right before that, she went up for one, and the setter and she miscommunicated.
Right.
So that one she was able to connect.
Gerard sets that one into the net. Gabby Vachon goes to serve.
The other thing about keeping a lead here is you might be able to get some other people to play.
Scramble play by the Hornets. But Goodman sends that one out. We're going to get a timeout from the Hornets. It's 15-6 in favor of the Flying Dutch. Scott, I guess if you're the Hornets, what do you do in this set specifically to come back?
Well, first of all, I think they just need to bring more intensity and hustle. They, and I understand they're frustrated and they probably feel like they're outstaffed, but you know, some of these points are avoidable by just maybe increasing the effort and the intensity. And so, you know, you're gonna get beat on points by players who are bigger and hit harder than you are. But I would make them work a little harder, and then the harder you work, the luckier you get, and the luckier you get, things will start going your way. So I think if they bring just a little more energy, that would be phase one. And phase two, probably just to try to create some sort of varying shots. If you think about the points they've won, they've scored them out of the middle on a quick middle, or they've done it with some deep tips or some rolls. But at this point, they can't afford to trade points because they're down 9.
Right.
I think Coach Schmidt will probably, in the next couple of points, be looking to get a couple of subs in, as she did in set 1.
Rashawn to Ferguson. Ammon goes out to Kerchanzi. Off the block. Both Reinhout and Dunlap lost it, and there was no help.
I think Sophie Hackett thought that Leah was going to turn around, and I think it was grabbable, but she just, like you said, kind of didn't know what to turn the wrong way. So
Goodman with the serve to Muller. Hackett with a speedy quick tip.
It's Hackett's first kill. She likes to get a couple of those a game. Haley had to take the first serve, or had to take the serve receive there, so Sophie probably wasn't super excited about going back to her. That's, that's a lot of work, and you got to be, the timing is more difficult.
Deshaun with the dig up to Muller. Muller with a hard hit off the hands of Gerard. Luke finds the corner The back corner to give herself an ace.
Yeah, and she started from the exact opposite corner. That's really hard to do. See if she can do that again. I think she's serving to one of the bigs.
Gerard gets the ball on that one. Suslin will send that one over. Sophia, Goebel will come in.
I think in a match like this, Coach Schmidt really wants them to execute well. Really isn't, if they play well, there isn't much of a doubt they can be successful, but you don't want to win ugly or you don't want to be flat.
Right.
You want to take advantage and cut down on the errors and make sure that you're executing well so that you can carry that into next week. They kind of hit rock bottom this Tuesday against St. Mary's, and I was pleased to see him rally back on Friday last night.
Yeah, definitely a 180 from Tuesday.
Alma is a very hard place to play, so if you can get out of there, even the national championship team and the teams that went deep in the tournament would always struggle, often giving up a set to Alma. So that's a big win for them, and I'm hoping that they were sort of they shed the pain of Tuesday night.
Vanderlaan serves that one into the net to bring it to 19-10. As Kerchanzi will go back to serve. Vanderlaan there to receive. Out to Muller. Kerchanzi with a good dig. To Gerard. Hits the back line. Good placement there by Gerard.
Sophie had a hard time. She had to come all the way across the court there, and so Paige Baker was up all by herself on that block. Sophie was frustrated with herself that she didn't get there, but she had a long way to go, and Kalamazoo ran it pretty quickly.
Baker helping with the pass. Ammon with a low set to Suslin. Packet goes to Baker. A little bit more time, but that'll go out of bounds.
See, Carly, this is what I'm talking about. The serve receive wasn't good, and so the setter had to run fast. And then we had another fairly easy dig, and Sophie had to come off the 10-foot line, and she only has 2 hitters, and so she didn't really have a whole lot of options because the set to the outside was going to be really long. And ended up going to Baker, and she ended up hitting it long, and that and then we went out again. So what did I say? We need to be crisp, and we need to play well, and don't worry about anything other than executing so you can carry it over, and they lost the last 3 points with poor execution.
Yeah, good move there by Coach Schmidt to give her team, a break to kind of regroup.
Or give herself probably too.
Probably, yes, yeah. But like you said, in a week leading up to Calvin, which is a huge game, and Calvin probably being the hardest place, especially for the Dutch to play in a season. You got to nail down on these small mistakes, try to cancel them out, to give yourself the best opportunity to perform well against the Knights.
It's a long season, and it's hard to avoid, even if you look at the teams that go deep in tournaments, Hope teams, Calvin teams, it's hard to stay sharp every time. But this is the time of the year where you need to start to taper and to peak. And, the days of ugly wins have got to go away. And if you're going to have a chance to win the NCAA tournament, these last 2 weeks, you've got to begin to model that with clear execution and sharp and crisp hustling play.
Kerchanzi to serve. Vanderlaan with the receive, out to Muller. Muller with the tip. Ammon's there. Up to Kerchanzi for back row hit. Deshawn with the good pass. Out to Baker. Baker off the tape. That was a good call.
Yeah, it was. That's 4 points in a row.
19-14. Just a 5-point difference.
And it's been 3 hitting errors right in a row. Mixed in with a serving error. Oh, wow.
Kerchanzi with a beautiful serve on that.
Almost looked like she mishit it.
Yeah. But lucked out for her as we see a little bit more rotation in the back row.
They moved Jenna Vanderlaan up now because they don't want to get burned on that.
Right.
little topspin shorty.
Muller stepped back a little bit. Hackett with great no-look tip.
That was cool.
Putting themselves closer, 20-15. Haley Muller back to the line to serve.
Coach Tom Doherty, assistant coach Tom Doherty, is out farther on the court than Schmidt. He's fired up.
Muller to Ferguson. Ammon out to Gerard. Luke with a great dig. Hackett's traveling across court to Rietberg. Todd with another good dig. Ammon out to Gerard as that goes line and goes right out of bounds. Good vision and call there by Haley Muller.
Well, give credit to Mallory Luke because there were 2 blocks up, Baker and Hackett, and Mallory went right in between and read that ball, and that's exactly where. Oh, yeah.
And the hitter's gift right there, what every hitter loves to have.
The overpass that's coming in at about 1 mile an hour. Absolutely. That is cool.
Yeah, you saw her face grin even before she jumped to get that ball.
But going back to the previous point, Mallory lined herself up right between the block and then had to lean over, and the ball was coming hard to hit her. Did a great job of getting it in between the block, and Mallory dug it up. And nobody will remember that part of it.
Right. Yeah, Hope doing a little bit better in these last couple points with their serve receive, but Hackett still having to travel a pretty far distance. Kalamazoo, though, going to have to go back to what they were doing about 3 possessions ago, taking control of the court against the Dutch. So we'll see if they can re-energize themselves like they were earlier to kind of come back from this 7-point deficit.
So I'm seeing another volleyball team out here, Carly. I'm just wondering if there's not a non-league. Is there a chance that Kalamazoo is going to play another match after this?
You know,
I don't think we are we?
I can let you know.
Because I wasn't planning on. I was only planning on 1 match. Here comes Ryan Stutz into the game.
I'm pretty sure JV plays after.
I don't know if Kalamazoo has a JV team. They generally do not.
It says junior varsity match to follow, but does not say
they might.
who.
You know what? I bet they're playing a community college team.
Oh, you might be right.
Because I don't think Kalamazoo has one. So now I will test my knowledge of community college colors and see if I can figure out who that is. I'm going to go with.
Can you read the?
I'm going to go with Glen Oaks.
Okay, interesting. Emma Jumay for a back row hit back there as Ferguson recovers and Gerard will free ball it over. Muller up to Hackett with a quick tip. Ferguson with the save. Well, we're going to get a double hit. Good hustle play by the Hornets.
And that was because of Sophie's kill. She's really good at that. She stays low. Sometimes she jumps, but if she's in the back row, she stays low and she's able to quickly get it over.
Haley Muller to serve. Match point. Game point. This ball goes up to Gerard, who sets that into the net.
There we go, 2-0.
So another victory on the Dutch point as they switch sides.
That was better. They had a bit of a lull, but with the timeout and a little crisper play, they were able to get out of it. So Hope College leading 2-0 in this MIAA contest. And this gives us a chance to thank our friends at Lawrence and Vanderswart for helping us with so many of these live stream events of all of our sports, including volleyball. So thank you, Lawrence and Vanderswart.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
And once again, we can't thank Lawrence and Vanderswort enough for all they do for Hope College, so we appreciate them a lot. And all they do for us is we have about a minute and 20 seconds left in between games, as once again Hope is up 2-0.
Carly, your computer battery is almost done here. Don't you charge it enough?
I do, but I was at the soccer game earlier today, broadcasting that one. Watching.
Were you really?
I was. I was supposed to do the men's game, but otherwise no one was going to do the girls' game, this volleyball game. So, my priorities.
Well, you are a loyal servant of the college, and I will confess that I was watching the women's game, but I was in my office, and I was working. So I actually had the volume down.
Oh,
I wish I would have known that, but then I wouldn't have gotten as much work done.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm only a little hurt by that, but that's okay.
Well, as we think about what's going to happen here as we conclude this week, got a lot of excitement going on behind us. This must be a high school team behind us, perhaps?
I think so, but I can't figure out
the letter A.
What high school
It
they're
could be
from.
Allegan.
It could be. It could be.
They're orange, so. Oh, I know what it was. Someone from that team won the Buffalo Wild Wings award.
Oh, that's exciting.
So next week on October 24th, we'll have a full slate of matches. Alma will go to Trine, Hope will go to Calvin, Albion will go to Kalamazoo, and St. Mary's will go to Olivet. And then on October 27th, Hope will not play, but on the 28th they will play at Albion. And then the following weekend, Friday, Saturday, will be the tournament. And it will be at Calvin because they are far enough ahead in the league that they will definitely host. And then really it comes down to a question of whether Hope finishes second or third. So if you look at Albion's remaining opponents, they will play Kalamazoo. That will likely be a win. And they will play Albion. They will play Calvin. That will likely be a loss. And then they play Hope, which we hope will be a loss, which should put them at 6 losses. And that might allow Trine to sneak in. Because they have Kalamazoo left, which will likely be a win, and Calvin, which will likely be a loss. So Trine may end the season with 5 losses and Albion with 6, and it might come down to that Hope-Albion match at Albion to determine who that 4th spot is and whether or not Hope finishes second or third.
So good volley right there from both teams, but that ball was free-balled into the net. As Mallory Luke will get her second serve. This ball is up to Ferguson. Ammon finds Goebel. Looks like we're going to get a double hit on Ammon. Luke to serve again. Luke serves that one right into the net.
That's that low serve that makes it so effective, but also comes with a high error rate.
Yeah, and service errors was one of the many things that got Hope into trouble against Calvin in their last game. It's Herman Hilker right here serves to Vashon. Hackett finds Moeller on the outside. Off the block, Herman Hilker tries to get the pancake, but sat back on her heels a little bit too long.
So for those of you who are watching on live stats, I'm not sure why it's never mind. It is correct. I misread it. So ignore what I said. Everything's good.
Looks like we had a ball good now on the court as Vanderlaan will serve this ball deep to Ferguson. Ball goes up. Goodman sneaks it over. Hackett finds Moeller. Goes deep to the back line. for a point for the Dutch. Vanderlaan to serve again. Another deep floater serve that heads out of bounds.
Well, I would say the same thing about set 3 is true of set 2. You really don't want to have this team hanging around. You want to jump out to an early lead. You don't want to trade points early on.
Hackett with another no look. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's all right. That's way more important. That was, I don't know how she can do that. But you want to get a good lead early and then give some other people a chance to play. Stutz has had a chance. Holman's played. Thompson's played.
Yep.
But we haven't had a chance to get Farwell in and some others who have worked hard, and we'd love to get them some points. That was a good way to spread the lead a little bit. The 5'8" center getting the overpass kill. What they dream of.
Hey, it's senior night. Anything's possible. Muller to serve again. Goes to Kerchansey, up to Goodman. Hope chooses to go to Rietberg with a nice cut shot that just rolled on the tape that entire time and snuck right before the line.
Well, that time they had Goodman chasing from one end to the other, and she could not get back into the block position in time. And Katie had a nice little angled shot that also danced along the net tape. They leave Gerard in. She's a big, long outside hitter. She's got a lot of power there, but that's hard to hit from 15 feet back, and she wasn't able to convert. So Hope off to this early lead that we want. Now we need to hold it so we can celebrate Senior Day and get some non-seniors in the match.
Yeah, as it's 9-2 now in Hope's favor. It would be incredible to get more playing time for these non-starters. But as we talked about a couple different times, Hope is very deep. But it's also exciting to see that some of these freshmen are making big contributions while they're in the game now. So young, so exciting and encouraging for this future of the program.
Speaking of young, the young high school team behind us knows every word to this song. They are serenading us.
You know, and I don't think it's just this song. I've heard it for every single one.
Oh, they know them all? I've never heard this song.
Except for the Bruce one. I don't know if they knew that one.
They don't. I know the words to that. You'd be shocked to know I don't know the words to any other song. Oh, no, there was another 80s song that played earlier, but...
Oh, you don't know the words to Meghan Trainor?
That's what this is?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the song or the artist?
That is the artist. I think the name is Me Too.
Crazy kids.
Yes, my campers from the summer, my little third graders, loved this song. So can't say it's in my top 5 favorites after hearing it all day, every day in the summer. We'll get a point there for the Hornets as Susan will come back in. Goodman back to the line to serve. Serve to Luke. Hack it up to Rietberg with it. Just another forceful line shot. Paige Baker back to the line to serve. Paige Baker from California, so it's exciting that her parents got to come out today for senior night.
Yeah, they've been here a while. They usually make 3 extended trips, and so they've been here, and they got to see Tuesday's match last night. And I think they saw last Saturday as well. They do an Airbnb or VRBO, and they usually end up renting a house right in our neighborhood. So it's great to have them back, and they've been very supportive all 4 years, including spending all week with us in Virginia Beach, Paige's freshman year. And they have been loyal Hope parents and loyal Hope volleyball supporters, so we're always glad to see them. But when they're not here, they also are loyal Lawrence and Vanderswart web stream viewers. So much so that when I told the crowd that it was Escondido, California, I was promptly corrected with a text that it was indeed Encinitas, California, as Paige's hometown. So I will never make that mistake again.
There we see Ferguson tip that ball over. This Reinhouse with a flare shot, but great team block from Kerchansky and Suesland.
Well, you know, the libero on that play, Ferguson put it into the outside hitter's lap, but really what you want to try to do there is you want to put it where the setter is, and she didn't do that. Kalamazoo ended up getting the point anyway. But you'd love to, if you have a free ball, you always want to try to get the setter to make the first contact because that's easier to get them out of system. There's Rietberg with a nice kill dribbling down in front of the block.
Yeah, Rietberg is having so much power that if she can hit the block just right, she can sometimes sneak it through, just hitting it so hard. Sneaking it through the hands of the block as Vachon serves this ball up. Going to get a...
Katie leading the team today with impressive numbers. First of all, she has more hits, more kills than anyone else with 9. She has no errors for an 818 hitting percentage. That's like video game kind of numbers. And then not far behind is Sophie from the setter position with 5 kills, hitting 714. Paige Baker with 7, hitting 308. And looking for Leah with 3 kills, and Haley with 6 kills, hitting 160.
Sean goes to Ferguson. Ammon up to Suesland. Hackett there for the dig. Miscommunication between Reinhardt and Luke, who's going to get that second ball. So,
and that's why you want to. That's why you want to put it in the hands of the setter, because that's
right.
That's when things can go wrong. So good play by Kalamazoo.
Ferguson to serve. To Vachon. Reinhardt sneaks that one through the block. As Ammon will back row set that over. Leah Dunlap with one of the hardest hit balls I've seen her hit this season.
If she can get up and she only has 1 block, she's really good, especially at a cut shot like that. And that is the kind of power that you want to mix with off-speed stuff as well. That kind of power will work less regularly and effectively against Calvin. But if you can get it and you only have 1 blocker, you definitely want to do it. And she was able to find the spot cross court.
Good play by the Hornets. As Herman Hilker goes back to the line to serve.
Only in volleyball will players clean up their own sweat off the floor. That never happens in basketball.
I agree.
Someone has to come out there with a mop.
They have a specific person here at Hope College that gets paid to do that.
Used to be the 6th grade daughter of the athletic director, but I think she's aged out of that. But yes, here comes Adair Cutler into the back row. She will serve for Leah Dunlap and probably play the back row.
And we've seen Cutler come in a couple times during this season.
She is odds-on favorite to take over running the team next year as setter.
Mm-hmm.
Freshman from Lansing Christian.
And another one who's a very consistent server.
Mm-hmm. She fires it right down the line. It's a hard one to. She has her fair share of errors, but when it's in, it's very hard to return, especially if she tries to needle it down the line. See what she does this time. She tends to go. She stands on the right and goes to the right, and there it is.
Luke with the dig. Hackett just cannot get there in time.
See, that's the second time that's happened that you just can't do that. I know that we're way ahead, but either Sophie needs to yell earlier or people need to hear her. It seems to me that that one was pretty obvious that she needed help on. It was all the way across the court, but we still need to call it early.
Gerard to serve. Hackett helps that ball up. Baker sends it over. Ammon with a quick, sneaky play. Muller gets a chicken wing on it. Joust at the net. Kerchansky sends it back. Who free balls it over, excuse me.
Well, people won't notice, but that ball came really tight because we had to kind of bump it up by the net, and Haley actually had to tip it with her left hand, and that's what kept the play moving. And Kalamazoo's going to get a timeout, and Emma Dumais is going to be in the game when we come back. Kalamazoo seems out of sorts in many ways, including they don't seem even aware when Coach Jean Hess is calling a timeout. She's trying to exhort them to a higher level of play right now in the timeout. But that's not the first time I've seen the team kind of standing out on the court and everyone wonders what's going on, even though the coach has called the timeout. So they've got 6 more points. They have to fight off, or this match will be done for them. They will drop to 2-11 on the season in the league, 5-6, 17, I believe, overall. And Hope will move to 10-3. No, 11-3 with 2 more matches remaining.
So Hope takes their spots back out on the court. Muller ready to serve. Just waiting on the Hornets with about 6 seconds left to go in this timeout.
Well, it's always hard to tell when you have a Friday, Saturday when the program gets printed. Kalamazoo is right now sitting at 2-10, and Hope at 10-3. So they will go to 11-3, and they will have 2 more matches left. With a 9-team league and double round robin, that's 16 league matches. This is the last year that the MIAA volleyball will be going with a double round robin. I actually like it. I wish they wouldn't have changed. Nice block by Baker. But the coaches voted for it, and the athletic director supported it, and we will also be going to single round robin for men's and women's soccer next year. So that means that we will only get to play Calvin once before the tournament.
Interesting.
And I don't like that. I wish that we could play. I know the season gets long, but that means it's more travel, more weekends, more time away. We don't get to see our team as much.
Right.
There's Emma Dumais with a nice kill from the outside. But nobody asked my opinion before they voted, so we're going with a single round.
Here goes Haley Muller, 21-8. Close to the net on that. Ammon gets it over. Heck, it goes to Paige Baker off the hands of the block. Brings it to 22-8. Muller with a float.
And that's a tough serve.
Goodman tips it over.
Good cover by Mallory.
Emma Dumais goes right between Herman Hilker and Gerard to stick that hit. (23-8). Muller with a hard serve into the net. Susan will come back in for the Hornets. Goodman with the serve. Out to Dumais. Off the hands of the block of Suslin and Ammon. To make it match point.
Here comes Emily Farwell in.
Emily Farwell to this day is, I've never met anyone who's impressed me more with their vertical.
And that'll do it.
And that right there, like Scott said, will be the determining factor, 25-9.
Well, this is the last time in this house for the seniors. 4 of them have been with us 4 years. Haley Muller has been with us 3 years. It's been great to watch them grow as young women and as great players. They started out their freshman season with a national championship. They have been to the NCAA 3 times. They've won 1 regional. And we hope they are poised to make a deep run in the tournament this year. They need to play better than they've played, but they have all of the pieces there. So let's hope that next week on the road will be an opportunity for them to sharpen up some of their skills as they get into the MIAA tournament, and with the opportunity to face and defeat the Calvin Knights in the MIAA championship, so they can get the automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament, so that they can have 4 NCAA appearances with this senior class. That would be great.
So that'll do it for us today, as the JV match will follow this game. Good luck to Kalamazoo, the Hornets, and the rest of their season. We hope for the best for them. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, and stay tuned for next time.